my bathroom. Just took a shower. Gonna do my skincare. My kids are here on the floor reading a book. Just gotta do what you gotta do as a mom, you know? This is my favorite skincare, Dr. Diamond's Medicine, the Plasma. And I just ran out. If you know about my skin, I mean, you can see the acne scars. My skin is actually completely clear. This is all just scarring. I've been on this long journey. Be gentle with him, okay? I've been on this long journey to heal my acne. I have red light on in the background. Just putting some of this. It's the honey milk. You can see it. You can see all of my acne scars and my melasma. But this is just real life. Just make sure you don't put your hand on his head, okay? Oh, it's humbling to see my skin in this camera. But you have no idea how far I've come. All this is just scarring. My skin is completely clear now, but I have so much hyperpigmentation. Yes, but yeah.
I like this.
That's a manta ray.
This is Ga. That's Ga.
Favorite deodorant. This thing is the goat. It's so good. It's gua sha. It's waterless.
Ketchup. I broke my teeth. There's gonna be a little tiny hole in my
Say if you don't brush your teeth, that's when you get cavities. 2 pumps.
Here you go.
Did you do your tongue?
I did.
Good job. You have them on your lap? Oh dear. I'm so tired today. And at night I use actives that are helping me fade the pigment, but you can just see how like bouncy my skin is. Typical morning in my house. I still do my skincare though. We just make it work. Dawson had his smoothie on the floor. My skin's very happy with this routine. Okay, time to go downstairs.
Ship it to
Alligators.
Moose. Oh. He's not here, Phil. Keep her to. He's over here.
Making my protein coffee. Do 8 ounces of milk. 1 packet of King coffee. 2 scoops of the Daily Basics from Core Formulas.
Let him back.
Tremella. This is like hyaluronic acid for your skin. Some pearl powder.
Five, come up there.
Put 1 egg yolk in my mug. 1 tablespoon of vanilla sugar. Then I whisk it up so it kind of forms like a custard. I got this from my friend Noelle.
Just let your brother sit on the mat. All right. Go, Dawson, go.
I look forward to it every morning. Get some air in here. Good morning, it's 3:45. We're gonna sing that song all day. What's that one until you're taking, Mr. Auckland?
Can't know my secrets. No. Shinoji. I take 4 tablets.
Okay.
4 tablets. I take my beef organs.
You took this one too.
Take this one.
Okay.
That's just a honey shot.
Well, this one's we call this the honey shot because we take it with honey. And that's how we get Dawson to take it.
Vitamin E. This is our master mineral drink.
Can you hold it up? Sorry. That's the master mineral drink we love. So Kyle and Dawson just got out of the house. I threw my hair up, put on a little bit of makeup. I'm gonna have to film my like low tox makeup routine soon. So that's gonna be on the list, but I'm gonna go downstairs and warm up some lunch, try to get a little bit of work done, answering emails. I have some brands who have reached out that I need to respond to today, a couple things for my podcast. I just have to see what's in my emails. So that will help me. Plus I literally run my life off of a to-do list. The baby just woke up from a nap. I actually have my mom here today. She's in town. My parents have been visiting a lot more lately. And then I'm gonna walk you through what I'm making for dinner tonight because I have to get it ready and put it in the crock pot. So let's go. I am making a really quick dinner. I literally have like 5 minutes because I'm running over to a friend's house. I've got onions and carrots. I'm gonna then put my roast. So I have a whole roast. This is a chuck roast. This is from the farm where we got all of our beef. So this is gonna be in the Instapot because it's 3:32 and I want this done by like 5 o'clock. Best investment was getting this cow. We got a quarter cow. We're actually almost out. We need to get more meat. Just smushed it in there. On top, I'm gonna do the flavoring, so the seasoning. Okay, so what I do is like a cup of water. Then I do coconut aminos, a good amount into the water, so just gives it some flavor. You could do like broth, but this is kind of the broth that I make. Onion powder. So I don't measure anything. I literally just eyeball everything. Garlic powder. Okay. I'm gonna do some rosemary. I just have dried today. Sometimes I'll have fresh. One of my goals is to have a garden so I can just grow all these herbs. Got some thyme. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some tomato paste. I just squeeze it right in here. So just mix it all up. Now I'm gonna do salt and pepper. So I've got some flake salt. I love the salt, so I just do like 2 generous scoops. I'm gonna do some pepper. So you can use whatever herbs you have. You know, obviously with red meat, something that's gonna give it like a really hearty flavor. Lots of garlic. And then I'm gonna do bay leaves. I just got these from Thrive Market. I do love to get stuff from Thrive Market because they have really great prices. Instead of going to the grocery store, you can get a lot of things like 30% off, sometimes even more. So just mix up your mixture, everything in here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this in for 90 minutes in my high pressure cooker. Okay, and I just added some green beans on top. These green beans are just gonna steam, so I don't pour any liquid on them. They're honestly gonna probably be a little bit overcooked, but this is just how I get it all in with it being super easy. For the settings, I just hit pressure cook, high, and then I do this for 90 minutes. It's the easiest thing ever. We just got home from running errands and I have a little package that just came in I want to show you. So this company just sent Happy Wolf a bunch of these bars. These are snack bars. So there's chocolate and banana. Dawson has the apple one in his hand. This is strawberry and this is chocolate chips. And I wanted to get some of these in my diaper bag so I can have them with me, but this is really cool because they're actually like best, you refrigerate them. So they're really fresh and they're super clean ingredients. They're sweetened with dates. But I was honestly so impressed by this company. It's all organic, it's gluten-free and nut-free. Strawberry or this is chocolate banana?
This is strawberry. I want strawberry.
I love when I find nothing artificial, fridge fresh, no refined sugar, and top 9 allergen free, no natural flavors, which is like huge for me. So just wanted to share that. We are out here. Kyle's gonna come up behind me. Looking at a piece of property that we found on Zillow. We have been hunting for the perfect property for our family. Kind of long story short, we own land, but it's not right for us. We basically wanted to be able to have like a little family compound. And so we've been on the hunt. So we're here right now. I've got the baby on me. I stalk Zillow all the time and I stalk listings. So we're gonna go and just walk around. We're here with my mom and my hubby. Let's go see what we can find.
No, I like the woods.
This is definitely more woods than our other property.
I like the woods better. There's more.
Probably I'd want to still clear out
Well,
quite
you
a bit,
could.
right?
This is, oh my word, you could clear anything. I mean, you can see they have the black tarp up. This is probably for the perked area.
So you think this is where it's perked?
Yeah, it's probably up here where he has all of his
But you
stuff.
think like 15 acres would pass it there, right?
Yeah, it just depends on the survey. All they have is an aerial map, but it's kind of hard to
tell what that is.
ECG.
Yeah.
I have so many boxes. I don't know why I brought them up here. All right, let's do a little unboxing. I'm in my bedroom, and honestly, I feel like I have hope again for just life because it's been sunny out. I struggle when it comes to winter time. Like, and it's not even winter. It's like the gloom and the doom for me. When I feel like I don't have sunlight, when I'm like staring at gray skies, like it really affects me. Okay, so I can't show you this. Oh no. Okay, I'm so excited because masa, if you know, you know. I am like seed oil free, and masa is amazing because they do all organic corn. Like, I grew up with a Hispanic mom. We eat guacamole several times a week. We also, my parents own Mexican restaurants. So I literally live for a good crunchy tortilla chip, but you cannot find any without seed oils. And then the rest of them are made with avocado oil, but like, I don't really trust them, like trust issues, right? Like, I don't trust them. So this new flavor is coming out from Masa, and they just sent it to me. I'm just gonna try it and see what it tastes like. Oh my gosh. I think this is the best one yet. All right, well, that's one of the things I got in the mail. So it's interesting because I've kind of been on this journey of like starting to share my life, sharing like things that I love, health, wellness, you know, all that stuff. And like suddenly all these brands are like sending me stuff. And it's like kind of crazy because I don't know, I just feel like I'm just being myself and I'm sharing what I genuinely love and like use. And honestly, like it's been really, really sweet. Oh, this is really cool. Okay, so this is from Prana Mat. It's a massage set. Say less. Okay, so this is acupuncture or pressure. This must be for the neck, like a full body mat. That is really cool. Okay, I feel like I could keep this in my room and like in the morning just like lay on it for 5 minutes. Thing I got, Vandy chips. So it's like a chip haul. Vandy chips are, it's actually the same company that owns Masa. I'm a northern girl. I grew up outside of Philadelphia. Love a good sandwich. Love a sandwich with a good crunchy chip, but you cannot find chips that are made without seed oils, especially potato chips. So I'm excited to stock up on this because we literally can't live without Vandy. I have coupon codes for these actually. These two for sure, and Masa, so I'll put them in the comments. It has to be crunchy. Usually there's someone trying to steal my chips. One of the things about me is I don't put my kids in containers, like bouncer chairs, anything like that. I took this course when I was pregnant with my first, just around like development, and I learned how important it is to get babies on the floor as soon as possible. And I think like one of the things that's great about being a modern mother is like there's obviously so many more resources probably than there were for my parents or someone who had kids 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Something to be said about how things were done before that maybe we've like lost the plot on. You know, like we have so much more stuff now, but overall like kids are unhealthier today than they were back in the 90s. Like, I just feel like kids are so inundated with stuff, and also like the parents, like the mom, we're so marketed to that we need all this stuff for our kids. We need the bouncer seats, we need the swaddles, we need this and that gadget. And I am really old school in that like my kid sleeps in the bed with me in a safe way. I've never swaddled my kids, and I literally have one little chair that when they're babies that I can put them in. But other than that, my kids go on the floor. Typically kids start rolling over around like 2 to 3 months. So I think that there's something to be said about just getting your babies on the floor as soon as possible. It's so important for their development to move, crawling. Actually, fun fact, my mom used to work at an institute that worked with kids who were had brain injuries. And she's taught me so much from when she worked there at this institute around just like what you can do to help your kids develop healthily, and just the importance of crawling, how important that is for the brain, how important it is for them to roll over. All of these things are so key for their brain development. And when I looked at it from that perspective, and when I was a mom for the first time, I just was like, I don't want to buy all this crap. Like, I don't want to have all this stuff that honestly just like inhibits them using their bodies and really seeing the potential of like what their little bodies can do. Now, I will say it's a little bit trickier on my second go because my toddler is like so rough with the baby, not intentionally, but he's a toddler, he's 3. I have to be way more mindful around just like leaving the baby on the floor. before. Definitely in the beginning, like I'm always sitting right there with the kids. But there's this mat that I used, and I used it with my first, and now I got another one. I'm so grateful for the company's called Toki Mats. They sent me another one, and honestly, like I truly believe this is one of the biggest reasons that my kids crawl and roll over so quickly, because of this mat. Like we just put this mat in the living room, and actually this time we took the coffee table out of the living room because I just wanted more open space for the kids to be able to crawl around and roll around, and we just have a Toki mat in the middle of our living room. So they sent me another one, and I'm so excited to show you. You can see it says Toki on it. Natural fibers, non-toxic, so you can see it's just really pretty checkered, but I'm telling you, it's like really soft, and you can remove this. It has a zipper here, so you can remove this to wash. I'm telling you, this is like such a must in my opinion. Like there's not a lot of things that I'm like, you need to have this as a parent, but this is one of the things that like I'm really grateful we have. Not that my kids can't scoot around on the carpet, but I do really like this, especially when they're super little. And we turn this into anything, like a reading circle, play mat, we roll around on it, wrestle on it. So shout out to Toki for sending this to me. I'm so excited to put this in my living room. Okay, next thing I got is from Wild Ride, called the Toddler Swing Carrier. So it's from ages 9 months to 4 years, but you basically just put this around your side. Let me just try this. And then you can put your baby, you can adjust the strap, but you put your baby right here in the sling. So it's like, I mean, you just support them with their back. This is really nice to have. Honestly, I would use this with my toddler because sometimes he just wants me to carry him around. I think the denim's really pretty. Thank you, Wild Ride. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is like a rabbit hole that I've been down lately. It involves blue light glasses. Now, I just got these in. I bought these myself. So these are blue light blocking glasses for the day. You see the yellow, and then this is for night, red. So I've had so many pairs of blue light blocking glasses before. Did I really feel like they were doing anything? I don't know. Like, I don't really think so. Found out that if the lenses are clear, they're really not doing anything. So this is from the brand called EMR Tech. I'll put a link for these as well in the caption. I started going down this rabbit hole around just blue light in general. I listened to this podcast around light and how they're kind of trippy, but I wear these at night religiously now. But I was listening to this podcast, and it kind of really sent me down a rabbit hole around what are we doing to ourselves and our kids with so much blue light. And I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I work from my phone, I have multiple businesses. Like sometimes it's really unavoidable, and I get like kind of anxious about it sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be on my phone all the time. But it's like a love-hate thing, and I don't do screens with my kids at all. So I was noticing just like some things that I didn't love about screens in general, which I did a podcast episode about. You can go and listen to that. But I was just really starting to have one of those like moments where I was like, wait a second, this doesn't feel right. And you know when you have those experiences, right? And sometimes you hear things for the first time and it doesn't land, like you weren't ready for it. Then you hear it again and you're like, oh, kind of warm up to the idea. And then you hear it multiple times until it clicks, and then suddenly like something shifts and you're like, wait a second, this makes sense. And this is what like this like rabbit hole that I've gone down. Obviously screens, blue light, LED lights as well in our homes. I never turn on the overheads, but all those LED lights in your lamps and everything like that, they also flicker. And there's just so many studies now that are coming out around the harmful effects of extended use and exposure to blue light. Not only obviously eye damage, but they're also saying things like potentially diabetes, obesity, stress of your cells, literally cell damage from extended exposure to blue light. There's also studies that say that blue light suppresses melatonin. And something that I was noticing is I was having a really hard time falling asleep, and it would take me so long to fall asleep. And you know, they say stop using blue light a couple hours before you go to bed. And I honestly like kind of rolled my eyes at that. I was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal until I stopped. And one thing I started doing is my phone goes away. I do not sleep with my phone in my room. I put it in our bathroom, plug it in, it's away in a completely separate room with the door shut. But also just not scrolling before bed or being on my phone before bed has been a really helpful thing. You were watching shows, like my husband and I love to like wind down with a show, have a bowl of yogurt or cereal or something like that. But I realized that that was really impacting my sleep. And then I noticed with my baby, so with my toddler, he's never on screen. So he goes to sleep when the sun comes up, he wakes up, the sun goes down, he's winding down, he's tired naturally, and we put him to bed. And then I was just starting to notice that my baby, because he was always asleep on my chest and we'd be watching a show downstairs, he was sleeping until like late, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And I just thought that was so interesting. And it just was like something something that made me like have this aha moment, especially after this podcast I listened to, which I will also tag. And I just wanted to share this because I think that we're going to look back in like 10 to 20 years and we're going to say, oh my gosh, blue light was like cigarette smoke. I think we don't really fully realize what it's doing not only to our circadian rhythms, but to our cellular health, our metabolic health, and our cognitive function. And I think that this is something that is worth looking into, or at least addressing your own relationship to blue light. Another thing that I've learned is that blue light is incredibly addicting. And one thing that I noticed when I wear my blue light blockers at night, I really don't want to sit there and watch too much. Like we'll watch an hour, one episode of a show. Okay, I'm ready to go to bed. And I get in bed and I go to sleep pretty quickly. And usually we're in bed by like 9:30. But before, I felt like we could just sit there and just rot on the couch for hours and hours and hours. And like we couldn't like turn it off, or we couldn't like move. We get like frozen. So this is obviously all like, anecdotal. Maybe there's some nuance to it, maybe not. Another thing we started doing is at nighttime, once the sun goes down, we don't turn on any lights in the home. All of the lights in our home that we do turn on are swapped out, and they're either red light or they're like an amber incandescent light bulb, but usually it's just red light. But even for dinner, we will have dinner with all the lights off and we have candlelight on. And I noticed this too, that when we do that, it's almost like I don't want to eat as much. It's almost like I'm not as hungry because my body is starting to shut down and starting to like get ready to go to sleep and hibernate. Like my body, I'm sending signals to my body like it's time to rest. And that was super insightful for me too. So again, like I said, this is just one of my rabbit holes that I've been down, but I think it's super important to think about what kind of relationship and exposure are you and your kids getting to blue light, and is it something that potentially is harming you? Because these studies are starting to come out and what they're saying is pretty wild. And I just also will say that, we're coming out of winter, and with winter here, like obviously we got so little sunlight, maybe like so many cloudy days in a row or rainy days in a row. And like how you feel after that is like you don't feel energized, you feel exhausted, right? And that's just something that I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe that's also just like giving me a signal around what I'm doing like during the winter when my body is actually meant to sleep more, my body is meant to rest more, but I'm just like overstimulating it by giving it all this blue light and staying up later. That's just something that I've been thinking about. Maybe in the comments, if you have had any similar insights, let me know. But something I'm really trying to protect with me and my kids is our circadian rhythm. There's a lot of studies too around how you can set your kids' circadian rhythm by really being mindful around blue light exposure, getting full light, full body sun during the day, and then also in the morning. I always try to get up in the morning and get sunlight in my eyes as soon as possible, and just kind of signals to your body that it's morning. Give it yourself a challenge. Maybe only watch things at night with your legit blue light blocker glasses. Report back and let me know how it goes.